Tracy here from Cheeky Journals. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first junk journal with me of 2021. I hope all of you are really well and that you're going to have a great year ahead. Today I am journaling about a day that happened a while back. I very seldom journal on the day that I've experienced something. I generally keep a lot of my day-to-day mementos, photos, and I have a little notebook where I make notes, and then whenever I feel like catching up on journaling, I sit down, refer to this, and choose something that I want to journal about. So this is one of those days, and I've got quite a lot of photos and ephemera to add. So I'm trying to be creative in working it in. I've added most of my photos to this book page, and I've just added a label there from a sticker book that I've got. And I want to add this ephemera card from Holtz. On it, I think it says photographic album. So I'm planning to turn it into a mini photo album with some of my photos in. But I want to add in just a few interesting things before I add that. So I've grabbed this Holtz stencil with some distress ink, and I'm just putting it on certain spots of the page just to make it more interesting. And I thought it would look quite nice at the bottom with this photo album that I'm making. So I am just placing the photo behind the ephemera card, and then I'm attaching it with some washi tape so I can just page through it. I'm trimming some of the washi off. The photo is slightly smaller than the card, and I just want to get those remaining bits off. I'm also going to use the inside of the ephemera card and add another photo just to take up most of the space, and then I'm going to leave a pocket for some journaling there. Generally, I love to write a lot of memories. Initially, I always think that I don't have so much to say, but then when I start, I just end up writing way too much and running out of space. So while I'm doing this journaling, I am keeping in mind to keep pockets open for some writing, and then also keeping some of the page open to just have enough space to say everything that I want to say. This is another Holtz ephemera piece, and I'm just going to staple it right there at the top. And then I'm going to stick this little album in my journal just with some wet glue in the corner. Moving on to the next page. The rest of the things that I'm adding on this page is not from the same day. It's actually from a different day, but it happened in the same month. So I've just decided to work that in as well. And on this day, we actually went to a quaint little town close to us, and it's filled with the most beautiful shops, a lot of antique shops and secondhand bookshops. So I have got a lot of business cards and things that I got from there. I always love going to this area to shop for a few supplies that I can use in the making of my journal. So I picked up a few buttons and lace and trim. So I just want to document that. And I've made this tag quite a while back, so it wasn't my stash. I just played around with making fabric tags, and it's really easy. So I've actually not recorded this process, but I'll quickly explain it to you. I've just used a tag, traced it on some scrapbook paper, cut it out, put some fabric over that, and I've just put it through my sewing machine. It's really simple and easy. And I've just put an eyelet through that. I've got some of the sari silk that I want to add to the top. So I've got this blue, green, and then that brown, and I'm just deciding which color to go for. Initially, I wanted to go for the blue-green, but I felt it clashed a bit with the butterfly, so I've decided to go for the safer option and just sticking to those neutral colors. I'm going to trim it off slightly, but I still want it to hang out of my journal. So I'm just closing up my traveler's notebook and then the notebook itself just to see how far it is. If it irritates me later on, then I can always trim it, but generally I love things sticking out of my journal. I've got a map here of the place that we went to, so I'm just paper clipping that to the page. And then these floral papers are from a magazine. So I've just trimmed off that bit to add there, and on the back I want to add some ledger paper. So I've got some scraps. I always keep all my scraps for times like this so I don't have to cut up a whole page. And I'm just going to add that to the back of this card where I can add more photos and also some journaling. I'm just using one of those glue dot runners to attach that to the page. This is generally quickly to do, so I use a variety of glues. I get a lot of questions about it. I generally use wet glues. It can be anything from fabric glue to just a general all-purpose one. I use these dot runners, which I quite love, and then some double-sided tape and also just a normal glue stick. Really, anything that works for you, that's what you can go for. I've just put that through my sewing machine, done some zigzag stitching. I always love putting papers through my machine, and I have to say my sewing machine's been one of the best purchases that I've made, and it's by far one of my favorite items. So if you want to invest in one of those, I would definitely recommend it, but it's not necessary, but it is a fun thing to have. I have also added some of those Tim Holtz phrase stickers to the card, and then these numbers are from a magazine. I'm just cutting out a piece of it and trying to see where I want to add it. Initially I wanted to add it to this card that I've made, but it just didn't really fit on there, so I'm going to use it on this page instead. One of my journaling goals this year is to use up more of my magazine clippings. I have a whole bunch of it. I've gone through it, I've picked a few things, and I'm trying to see what I want to add to this page. So I've got this insect clipping that I've stuck in, and then I'm also just adding that number that I've cut out earlier on. And I'm going to paper clip this tag to the page and get back to it a little bit later on and see what else I want to add. But for now, I'm just going to do some washi on the side, and then I'm going back to the previous page and adding a bit more over here. I'm adding this photo. We ordered a drink and the straw came through this bunny mouth. It isn't really my style, but I think it's cute and I want to add it since it's part of my memory and it's just going to make it stronger. So I'm going to stick that at the top and then again just leave a pocket of journaling space. I'm sticking in this music paper and then I'm going to add this label over the top where I can add my date later on, and then I'm going to start adding some of my journaling. I've done most of it off camera as I usually do, and I'm just adding the last few bits and pieces and paper clipping everything to the pages, going through it and seeing what else I want to add. I've bought this trim at the quaint little shops that we've went to, so I want to add a few of my favorite samples, and these two I think were my favorite from the whole bunch, so I'm just sticking that down with some fabric glue. and just dabbing off some of the glue that's coming through the lace. Luckily, this glue dries clear, so you can see some of it peeking through, but as soon as it dries, you won't be able to see any of that. And then this journaling page is all done. I've really enjoyed putting it all together. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. And I'm hoping to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.